Several years ago, we started thinking about and planning for a blended learning program in Worthington Schools. In 2015, 2016, that plan came to fruition with our first cohort. It was about planning the program and also preparing faculty. One of the advantages of a cohort is just the diverse experiences and backgrounds of the members. That too leads to a better maybe understanding of what members bring to the cohort and what they can achieve. Some of the characteristics of a cohort, in my opinion, include a commitment to continuous improvement process, a willingness to take risks and try things outside of one's typical comfort zone, and a commitment to advancing the knowledge and understanding of the members. The cohort members that I've worked with over the past 2 years have brought diverse backgrounds and a variety of experiences that have led to 2 really successful years in Worthington Schools. But I'll let the members of the cohort tell you their story.
The biggest thing for me is a sense of community.
New people and new resources. Belonging to a group where we're all thinking about the same things.
The more people that you talk to, the better your class becomes.
It was also great meeting other people in the district.
Different content areas, different buildings, different levels, and having all of those people assembled is one of the great benefits.
I guess just getting to know not only them and their successes, but also, their students. I think it creates a sense of community.
We can feed off of each other, we can get ideas from each other.
Being able to listen to other people who have done it.
It's really, really nice to get to know these adults on a collaborative level, but also as students, because we're all kind of working together and struggling together.
For all of us, it's a little bit outside of our comfort zone. It's kind of acknowledging that we might be a little bit vulnerable, it might be a little bit scary, but that we're all there to learn.
And you get to see how people improve and recognize shortcomings at first try.
One of the advantages of working with a cohort is collaboration, communication, and also just that sense of community. It doesn't happen by accident, and so we were very intentional about creating situations and activities that would help build that community.
One of the first assignments, we were supposed to read an article, an introduction to blended learning, and either write a response on Schoology, or you said we could do an infographic. And I read the instructions and I said, okay, I'm not making an infographic. So I took notes and I went online to do it, and then I saw that 2 other people had done infographics. And I said, okay, well, if they can do it, I'm gonna try it too.
What's really unique about our cohort in terms of this professional development opportunity that I haven't had in ones in the past is we're given the time, it's kind of spaced out, it feels reasonable, and we're given that cohort to work with.
The model we're using is a model of blended learning. And clearly there is the online component, but there's the face-to-face component. And that has been solidified as I've gone through the classes, is seeing that true blending of both formats.
When we work together on issues and problems of practice, it is that collective knowledge and understanding that really leads to improved student achievement.
We get to see a range of what's accepted, we get variety, we get feedback.
I think that the fact that I've taken your first blended learning course, I'm taking a blended learning course, I'm doing similar work that they're doing.
And it's really nice for me because I'm blending a class that no one else teaches. Sometimes I feel alone in my own little efforts, and it was great to kind of meet and talk to other cohort members who don't even teach my class but have ideas.
Just having that opportunity on occasion to bounce ideas. Hey, what do you think about a folder with this? Or what do you think about this as a discussion post, even though it doesn't necessarily tie into the course itself?
One big takeaway that I've had just after doing all the readings and looking at all of the frameworks and all of the instructional practices and all of that is that blended learning is just good teaching.
Transformational for kids.
There are multiple components. There's lots of layers.
This new generation of students, just kind of, if I can give them the access, they'll be more prone to learn when they want to learn.
So we are, in fact, I think even more effective even when the classroom is empty, because we have the communication lines open with our students.
I have always had kids studying outside the classroom, and it's always been a challenge for me, and I didn't know how to make it work. Sometimes in our traditional 45-minute period, it can be difficult to accomplish some of the things in the manner in which we want to do it.
When they can come in and know where to go find their assignments, and they pull up their assignments, and they're able to complete them on their own time, because it gives them some control over what they're learning and what they feel like that day. It treats them like humans instead of widgets.
One, it's your own curriculum. I think that's another paradigm shift that they need to understand, that this is your class. It's the same as prep as you would prep any other class. It's your curriculum. You're not having them log into a website and having no control over it.
Now my students did a portfolio in the past where it looked kind of like a scrapbook, and now they do an online portfolio with a video reflection, and it's really incorporating a lot of those smaller skills that they need for journalism.
It's also changing the way I design activities. I try to design each activity with a number of different ways that it could be completed. So, start with like the learning target, and then from there think about, if I'm a blended student on my own, what kind of resources and activity would be useful to help me process this material.
I have this thing I call the playlist menu. So when I am teaching a particular unit, I pull as many resources as I can that are available, like podcasts and online articles and games if they're available, and videos and TED Talks and all these kinds of things. And I try to arrange them by content standard, by the goals I have for the learning pieces. And I arrange them so that kids can pick from different areas, and they can choose what they want to watch, and they can choose what they want to listen to, and we all kind of end up in the same place.
One of the things that has struck me is the importance of feedback in a blended learning. That we all know that, but seeing how that works in a blended learning format, to me, has been a big kind of aha moment.
When I say, well, the way I've arranged this particular class, the way the assignments are, it's clunky, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, if you just put this one first and do this one, and then I get to do that right away. And they're like, yeah, we like that better.
It's forced me to realize that in order to give students those opportunities, I have to be thinking ahead. And if I can do something once instead of 2 or 3 or 5 times, I really need to do it once. So I'm beginning to learn to record explanations of things, to answer questions in a video format or in an audio format that then I can send out to other students.
I had a mom email me about, oh, my daughter's really stuck, she doesn't know where to get help, and I made her a quick video. Actually, I just recorded my screen of saying, well, here's where they can access things, and the student then came to me and said, oh, that was really helpful, because now like my mom knows how to help me and can direct them to that. So I think it's helpful not only for the students but also for the parents.
I think reflection is the #1 thing that I'm really going to work to build into my curriculum. When I learn and when I need to meet new standards or incorporate new things, reflection is a key portion of how I go about that process. But reflection is something that I haven't built into my curriculum, and I haven't allowed my students that reflection time. Of course we talk about standards, of course I give them their standards, but really what I want to do through having the blended learning model is provide students with more opportunity and more time to reflect on their learning and to evaluate themselves, how they're progressing, so that they're able to really take more ownership of their learning.
The Quality Matters rubric is very important, because it's basically a blueprint of what a quality blended learning class should look like. And to me, that rubric really resonates with me. It makes a lot of sense. It shows everything, all of the components of what a quality blended learning class looks like, and therefore as a model as to what my class should look like.
What's been exciting about this too is it's allowed me to create some lessons in my other classes that aren't totally blended. But I've introduced some choice menus that require technology, and those are all things I learned about in my blended learning cohort.
The formative instructional practices has been useful, just to see how I'm able to, check in with students. I don't know, sometimes with paper and pencil, I think you have to grade everything and it's time consuming, but with technology, there's so many outlets that you can use.
Being able to revisit this class again and how to make it better, I think all of those things, and the fact that we had time that the district gave us to do that was fantastic.
It's worth it, but it is time consuming. But it's highly creative too. And I think a lot of teachers by their nature are highly creative people. And I think it feeds that. And when you're excited, your kids are going to be excited. If I get really good at it, I would like them to spend some time pulling resources, the things that they find, and we can add to that list as well.
You know, how is this just the future of education? This is where we've always been going as our society expands its walls. So how are we continuing to do that and apply that in a way? And I think the question that you've started this course with, what are the best practices and what gives students meaning and added value to a course? And I think those are like the guiding questions that have been instilled.